how often do you brush your teeth? The
Mm.
answer is every day. And then I say, how often do you have a shower? And then hopefully the answer is every day. And I asked them why, and they said, well, because otherwise I start to smell and I get sick. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. So I say to them, how often do you shower your money? Like how,
Mm-hmm.
or even I talk about going on a date with your spouse. If you don't go on date night with your partner, how are you going to have a good relationship? And the answer is no. So I say to them, when was the last time you had a date with your money? And so what that the notion is that I'm suggesting they spend time looking at their bank statement. And the weird thing is that most people don't look at it, which is mind blowing to me. I'm
Yeah,
telling
for
they
real.
don't. The people they just don't. Oh, actually, I'm supposed to look at it when? I was like, every single month for the rest of your life. Oh, sure, I didn't. Same as a shower, but they just don't understand. They just think it's going to sort itself out. So I think the first principle is every single month sit down and do an audit of your bank statement so you have more ins than outs. That's
Mm-hmm.
critical. And if you don't, stop having Uber Eats. Stop getting on Amazon. Delete the apps. Stop going on Timu. Like, and it's like, what do you mean I got to stop going on Timu? I'm like, your behavior is doing that. It's not the money. The money is very simple. 1 + 1 is 2. It's our behaviors that actually dictate where the money goes. Because people are like, oh, where's my money going? I'm like, it's going where you send it. It doesn't have legs.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's this personal development of like this mirror. And that's why people don't want to look at their bank statement, because it hurts them to see their shortcomings. I get it. We all have them.
Yeah.
But that's critically important. The second one is once you do look at that and do that, the objective is to pay yourself first. And it comes from the richest man in Babylon. It's not a new concept. It's
Yeah.
many eons of years old. But people are paying the tax office, the phone bill, this, that, the rent. They're paying everyone else but themselves first. And so the trick is to pay, as soon as their paycheck hits, take a percentage, call it 10%, and put it away into a separate account. That's critically important. And once they do that, they're at least halfway there. And I would say the third concept is keeping your definitely learning to invest, but keeping it simple. And if you can, putting it into a tax effective account and putting it into an index fund and just repeating that process and learning the notion of repeating what works and not switching around and looking for the next shiny object of Bitcoin or gold or this or that. It's just keeping it simple, and it comes from lessons from Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger and these incredible money managers. So they're the three big concepts.
Mm-hmm.
If they get them sorted out, then at least we have a chance for them to actually go and make money. Because if they don't sort those out, what's the point in them making more money?
Yeah, for real.
It's going to get frittered away.
It's like there's I would call it like the leaky bucket syndrome, right? Where it's like,
Totally.
you could put more and more water in, but like the problem is you have a
Yeah,
hole in your bucket. So like,
that's right.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and a small hole can sink a big ship. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the things people have to understand is that if they can't do it with small money, then as they build their business, if they do get to $1 million a year, they're still not going to be able to do it. And how many entrepreneurs? You probably know a ton. I know
Yes.
so many that have they're making, I did $100,000 month, or I did this, and they have no flavor money.
Yeah.
Because they're not following simple principles that they should have done when they were making 1,000 a month
Mm-hmm.
to an extent. So that
Yeah.
your behaviors follow you all the way up, and your money rules. That's another great concept. Is I teach money rules. So set your money rules, and once you set them, it's like having boundaries for children when they're young. If you don't put boundaries, you say, oh yeah, go drink alcohol at 12. That's a good. If you do, it's those things. And so, of course, if you don't have boundaries for kids, they're going to run riot. And if you don't have boundaries for your own money, you're going to run riot. So you have to set these money rules. Did an episode on this on my podcast, and that is well received because finally people have the rules of the game.
Mm-hmm.
They've got some tracks to run on, and all of a sudden, if they're running on the tracks, they then are confronted with a decision to make. They have a decision making tree to run it through, at least, which
Yeah.
is going to only enhance their wealth.
If you're interested in learning more about the tidbits and advice that they have, then you should consider subscribing to the 2 Comma Club newsletter, where you'll get daily updates and advice on the podcast and the things that we are learning from the individuals who have made at least $1 million. Just go to 2ccnewsletter.com or click the link in the description down below and subscribe.